Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, another male is found dead, shot through Odell and Gibbs Corner, the second incident this week.
Government officials touring the new multi-million-dollar Marsh Harbor International Airport. I'm LaDon Davis, and I'll tell you all about it coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
College of the Bahamas holding commencement exercises today. We've got the details straight ahead.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
An inner-city community, the site of yet another murder. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings.
And I'm Andrew Knowles. Thanks so much for joining us. It was just 2 days ago when a 23-year-old man was shot and killed through Odell Corner while playing dominoes.
And this morning, police returned to the same street to investigate another shooting death. Our Janelle Ferguson was on the scene shortly after 6 a.m.
Another male lay dead through a track road between Gibbs and Odell Street, just a stone's throw away from where a 23-year-old was killed on Tuesday. Police were called to the scene after wrapping up their investigations at another murder of a male that took place on Rupert Dean Lane Wednesday night.
We heard 2 gunshots went off this morning. When we got it was like about between the hours of 1 and 1:30. But you know, it's usual in this area for persons to be firing gunshots, so we just took it casually as if it's another set of shots going off.
Much to the dismay of the resident who did not wish to appear on camera, that was not the case. Police reported that a woman had just come out of her home around 6 a.m. to dispose of some garbage when she discovered the body of the male. He suffered from a gunshot wound to the head.
You think that this was retaliation killing from Tuesday's murder?
We're not certain. As yet, it's still early in our investigation. We believe that this individual is from Freeport.
Superintendent Paul Roll says that the victim was wearing an ankle bracelet. However, he said he's confident that that system is working.
I believe the system is effective. Them wearing the monitoring device, I don't know that has anything to do with them being murdered. We were able to track him. There was no issue because I believe he lives in this area. So as long as they're in their exclusion zone, then there's no need for alarm. They wouldn't raise an alarm with that. It's only if, for example, he was outside of that zone for a period of time, then they would notify us. They've been doing a pretty good job in reaching to the police within minutes.
Roll added that the victim was on bail for murder. Police spent most of the morning conducting their investigation. Residents in the community who flocked to the scene said although 2 murders have happened there just days apart, they're not concerned about the criminal element.
You know, we were gang-related. Area, what they call the rebellions, but after a while many of them, you know, changed their lives, so the crime rate in this particular area have really decreased. So I don't expect for the crime rate in this area to increase any further. You know, we give thanks to the Royal Bahamas Police Force that they are always I talking about every 10 minutes you have a car patrolling through this corner to ensure the safety of the residents.
Police investigations into the country's latest homicide continues. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Well, shortly after 11 last night, police were on the scene of another murder. This one also nearby, Press Close off Rupert Dean Lane. Officer in charge of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Roll, told our news team the 21-year-old male victim was coming out of his Honda CRV when he was shot.
Officers responded to this area where they met a male lying on the street suffering from apparent gunshot wound to the upper body. EMS responded here also and pronounced this male lifeless. What we do know is that shortly before then this male came here, and as he approached in his vehicle and about to exit, he was accosted by we believe a lone male who produced a handgun, discharging several shots in his direction, fatally wounding him. The assailants then was able to make good their escape into the bushes and leave this area. We do appeal to anyone who may have information with this latest homicide to reach out to the police so that we can try and bring this to some resolution.
Well, with crime a major concern, the country's leader says his administration is strengthening its arsenal in the crime fight. During Wednesday's budget communication in Parliament, Prime Minister the Right Honourable Perry Christie said his administration is dedicated to fighting crime and bolstering national security. He also said his team recognizes the challenges crime and the fear of crime pose to the economy and our way of life.
We are thus ever more committed to providing the resources required by the Bahamas Police Force to effectively address this issue in terms of personnel, equipment, and technology. My government is leading efforts in the fight, and we accept that responsibility resolutely and with dedication. To that end, I expect additional criminal courts will be ready soon, and that they will ensure that criminal matters are dealt with promptly and without undue delays.
Mr. Christie said the urban renewal program is playing a positive role in combating the country's crime problem. However, he said his administration realizes that the project needs some more resources, but in tackling society's ills, more has to be done.
We know, for example, that the challenges of our country are well beyond that of effective policing and effective resourcing of that policing. That it also is getting into the minds of the people of our country, and in doing so, getting to see the environment in which they live and the challenges emanating from that environment, and being, notwithstanding limited resources in our country, but being committed, Mr. Speaker, to relentlessly tackling the problems associated with poverty and being able to bring relief to people, with the hope that as we are policing, as we are enforcing, as we are producing the courts and quick justice, Mr. Speaker, we are also reaching people in their lives and being able to heal them as best we can through the programs that we are offering. And Mr. Speaker, we are going to continue unabated in doing so.
Still ahead, the Atlantis Resort celebrates a major milestone.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Shell Quality Fuels.